Hello and welcome to Wraith The Oblivion, Echoes of... Wait, I just gave my own name wrong. Yeah, no, Echoes Across... What's the name of my own show?
See, Diana?
Echoes of New York. Echoes of New York.
I thought it was Echoes of New York because that's very much on brand, but then I was like, no, it's Echoes of Oblivion. Then I'm like, no, but the game is Wraith The Oblivion. That's it. We'll do it live. You know what? QueueTimes production overlords, leave that in. Don't even edit it out on YouTube. No.
I would like to say I'm also playing B-Dave's shadow, and I just made him bad luck. That intro.
It was Nora let's be honest, Nora. If you've been my shadow this entire fucking time, wouldn't life a lot of things would make sense. I was like, I have my usual suspects moment of I'm like, it was Nora the entire time.
But like, also thank you.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for this moment so I could just smoke bomb out of here.
It's true. There it is.
And just hang out and chat with everybody.
let's just, but even though I do mean leave that in, here we go. Let's try it like a professional. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Wraith the Oblivion, Echoes Across New York. It's not even Echoes, it's just Echoes of New York, isn't it?
Oh my gosh.
Echoes something New York. Nailed it.
That's it's something dockside. You guys are gonna like make me go look at like my own freaking like social media posts for what I named my show. Look, it's been a day. I already did a thing. I did a one shot for World Builders earlier today. Raise some money, help some people. Now I get to inflict emotional trauma on people I really love. Now, take 3, which is even more difficult because now I have to say it with like Justice's steamy smolder going on in this picture as I say hello and welcome to episode 3 of Wraith the Oblivion, Echoes of New York. The name of tonight's episode is Broken is the Golden Bowl. Now, despite this cheerful, cherubic introduction, I assure you, this is the high watermark for the evening because this show is particularly dark. If this is your first time tuning in, this is the darkest part of the world of darkness. It intentionally gets into some pretty grim stuff at times. We here with the cast have discussed all this and have our safety tools in place. We have our system of red X's and being able to back out of things. So if suddenly, honestly, mid-sentence, mid-scene, I just shift things like abruptly, it's because somebody poked me on the back end and said they were getting uncomfortable. Giggity. Even though we've discussed what everybody's kind of like limits are, you never know. At times, some things might come up, and if it squeaks you out in the moment, it does. No questions asked. But same thing for you, viewers. Go easy on yourself. If we're exploring something that is making you uncomfortable, you know, maybe click out or skip ahead for a few minutes if you're watching this on VOD, as you might have already had to skip through my multiple dry runs at the introduction. That being said, each of our characters tonight are playing 2 characters. They are playing a wraith, a restless spirit who for one reason or another has unfinished business that is preventing them from going on into the next world, achieving transcendence, as it is expressed in this particular game setting. And they are also playing the shadow of another player character. Your shadow, it would be wrong to call your shadow your evil twin because your shadow is you. It is every mistake you ever made. It is everything that you are not proud of. It is everything about you that is flawed, personified. And your shadow hates you and wants you to suffer because it knows you fucking deserve it. So, when we are speaking as the shadow, we have visible physical clues to let you know that that is who is speaking. So if you would, show us the shadows.
Oh, please.
Mm-hmm. So, as you can see here, when the masks come on or the dramatic lighting kicks in, it is not the wraith that is speaking, but the shadow. Thank you all very much. So, do we have a volunteer for who is going to be the recaptain for what took place last week?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Please, yes, young master. Let us know what happened from young Master Joseph Beckwith's perspective.
Yeah, so me and my sister, we were out playing on the dock, and I did a really good trick on one of the homeless folks on the dock there, and my sister had to one-up me like she always does and strangle him with some fishing line. Just an average day in the life of a 100-year-old psychotic child. And, well, as we were there, you know, we saw a friend, this old pilgrim lady that I can never remember her name. She's not really that important, to be honest. And she was there, and she's bladder on a little bit, and she got fresh with me, and I had to put her in a place, and I didn't like it. You know, Josephine always says that we shouldn't let the help know that we're better than them. They should just know that we're better than them, and we shouldn't have to tell them. And then we saw the boat coming across, and there was my wonderful friend Marguerite, who loves it when I hold her hand and she walks me through the streets like a very nice nanny. And she was with this new fellow, and you know, I couldn't quite place him, and it's very important to be able to place where people are in their class. But I found out he's worth a lot of money, and so we decided that he could hang out with us because he was of the right class. And we went through the city, and me and my sister, we played this really good joke on a biker who died and got him eaten. And then we continued looking for. Oh right, I forgot the Shadow Man. The Shadow Man came up and he gave Marguerite a toy, and he didn't give us any presents. And I was really mad about that. And I'm going to steal that present back. I only tried once, but my sister kind of messed it all up. I'm really good with my hands. I get sticky fingers, but my sister messed it up. And so now the triangle thing that is very important, it's in Marguerite's purse, and I'm going to get it. But for some reason, it's attracting monsters. I don't know why yet. But my sister and I, Josephine, we're very nice little children, but we were going to have a nice trick where we take that flangey thingy, that present, and put it on to, what's his name? Otto, or whatever his name is. And then the monsters would attack him, and it'd be great fun for everyone. But that hasn't worked yet. And then he's going on and on and on about this thing that he's got to do, but he doesn't realize he's dead yet, and he can't do that thing anymore. Don't worry, we'll teach him. And then we got to where his building was. He's some bigwig. I don't know. He does something with like magic. And then we were standing outside the building, and we saw another of the. Oh, I forgot the pilgrim lady. She blasted something or something like that. I don't know. It wasn't really that important to the story, to be honest. Anyway, so we got to the building, and there was another one of those specter thingies, and my sister and I, we were about to get out of there. So, because it's not, you don't play around with things that are too big. So we were going to jump skins out, and then there was this other lady that showed up, and she was very nice, but she hit me when I tried to jump in her body. She didn't like that much. I guess I can understand that. But anyway, she offered us a deal where we could find the Titanic, and I can go back and I can see my mommy and daddy. All we got to do is give up Marguerite. That's all. And that's fine. I don't really mind. She called me nasty, and she said I had dirty hands. And that kind of hurt my feelings.
Does anyone else have anything to add to that recaptioning? Because I have a couple of points, but does anybody have anything else to add?
I thought it was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Thank you, Josephine.
Except for the fact where you said I messed the thing up. I messed nothing up. It was you who messed it up.
That's not true.
Definitely hit the high points from the point of view of a 112-year-old urchin. Yes.
I'm not an urchin. I'm aristocracy.
So that is all that happened. Yes, they did lead an witting, freshly dead victim of a hit and run to ultimately having his soul eradicated by a group of Malthians. We found out that that is one of the risks of this world that causes wraiths to gather in circles. Anyway, it is very, very rarely from the polite company and almost always from mutual defense. We also learned that there is a system of currency that is called Ubali that is made from these souls, of which we found out Marguerite has a couple of coins in her coin purse that have an odd habit of moaning and wailing in torment on occasion, which it's actually fairly standard for the fair. Again, they are not just a currency, they also are a status symbol, because there's a number of things that can be done with souls, and if you take the time to simply mint one and hold on to it, says a lot about you and your overall station.
Yeah, last time I checked, those brats didn't have any of those. Who gathers prophecy now?
All true.
Just you wait.
Yes, Miss Cornelia Baker, when you all were confronted with a specter, which is quite unfortunately what's waiting for all of you at the end of the line. A specter is someone that has lost all vestiges of humanity and is essentially the wraith and the shadow is one now, as just a embodiment of rage and hostility. And she did eradicate one in a spectacular showing, which got her praise and adulation and applause from everyone that had witnessed it, except there was the one minor thing where her shadow took this one glorious moment from her. And as far as Cornelia goes, they were booing and mocking her rather than allowing her to have this moment. You all proceeded. You saw that Central Park is a spiritual hotbed of a number of odd and arcane powers. And there also was a retinue of the spirits of a group of indigenous people that stared absolute daggers through Cornelia as you were walking by. And it was revealed that in her winged form, she was unconsciously sending out SOS or help smoke signals, essentially. And as she saw these people later, they essentially replied back, no, that they knew you were in distress and they did not care. You saw a tall, twisting tower that stood across the street from Central Park that all manner of grunts and howls were emerging from. A odd, misshapen thing, more out of something that H.R. Geiger should have created than a building that should have been able to stand on its own, that you all cut a wide swath around before arriving at the location of where Oliver Swift's tower should have been, only to find a deep, dark hole there. You all then were confronted by yet another specter and a masked woman who revealed herself to be Carly Emerson, or at least once was Carly Emerson, a fling that Ollie had had in the past who remembered him and revealed herself to be on the trail of Marguerite in particular to be able to use her powers. You all have seen the fact that when she wishes it, Marguerite can be quite irresistible. And this seemed valuable to Carly. She did tell you that she died shortly after her father went to prison with his business associate, Winston Thorne from Thorne and Emerson Law Firm. And might have mentioned in passing that since then, nobody had seen his wife or his two daughters, Demetria, Apple, or Cherry. Strange thing. Maybe they're dead too. Who knows? Yeah, I'm like,
and no.
The last thing that she offered you was she said she had a way to help Oliver find his building and to help these delightful children find the actual Titanic that Josephine and Joseph had been searching for all this time, and even to help Cornelia in her quest for revenge. And all it would take is you all turning over sweet Marguerite to her. And with that, we start back here standing outside the crater where your tower once stood. What was the name of your tower, Oliver?
It was not creative. It was literally Swift Tower.
The where Swift Towers should be, as buildings don't just get up and walk away. And again, you see Carly standing there. She still has her mask removed, and there still is vestiges of the beautiful young woman that she was. Thick, curly blonde hair hangs down to her shoulders, but as you look at her face, she is very clearly dead. Her eyes are sunken in, her cheeks are hollow, and her skin has a bluish pallor to it. And she is completely covered from head to toe in black, including gloves. Besides you all standing here, the specter that she summoned, which swirls in and out of physicality as eyes and mouths form all over it at random occasion and then swirl away again, looms over you. And she idly plays with a curl of her hair and reaches out and touches one of yours, Marguerite. And she says, I promise it won't be so terrible. You are of much greater use like this than like this, she says, looking at the specter.
Why should I listen? Why should I trust you?
Oh, you shouldn't, but I don't see that you really have much choice in the matter. I could force you. I'd rather not. Your friends could betray you. I'd rather they didn't. But perhaps we could arrive at terms.
I'm listening.
She steps forward and she very slowly puts her hand on your hip where your coin purse and the planchette are stored. And she's right here in front of you. And she's like, I can help you solve your mystery, you know. We don't have to be enemies. I don't have to be any of your enemies. In fact, I would hope to become as close to you as I was and hopefully will be again with Oliver.
I still don't understand what you want to do with me or with this or how you could help me. I have no reason to trust you.
Go ahead.
You know that I'm a businessman. You know that I'm happy to negotiate. You're not really giving us a lot to go on right now.
I think I'm giving you everything you need to know. I am willing to assist in the achievement of your heart's desire, the things that clearly have kept you all from moving on, in exchange for giving me what I want, which is her. So this seems fairly straightforward, Oliver. I mean, Mr. Beckwith, Masters Beckwith, does that not seem fairly straightforward, what I will do for you in exchange for what I want?
Oh, it does seem very straightforward.
You're asking the bratty child if he thinks that what you're saying is logical. Please. You may have told me that, you'd be able to help me, but you actually haven't given me any explanation as to what it is you want with me. Should I agree to this? Nor have you given any indication as to whether or not you can deliver on your promise.
She puts the mask back on and reaches in one of her pockets, and she pulls out 5 golden tickets and just fans them. Tickets for the Midnight Express. They will take you through the Tempest to Stygia. On the way, you will have an opportunity to find the Titanic if you wish, or to go to the one place where all lost things end up eventually. Oliver, if your tower is not here, I assure you it is there, because it is the place where all things end up eventually. And she holds the tickets out in front of her.
What's it like to know exactly how little you're worth? 4 scraps of paper?
I think you're lying because I'm obviously the most important aspect of this entire transaction.
Much like in life, dear, she only wants you for your body and what you can do for her. You should really just embrace your purpose.
My purpose
Serving others.
No, that is not my purpose. And you're wrong. I'm obviously valued. Otherwise, I wouldn't be treated the same way that people treat me here.
She leans in very close to you, Marguerite, but now she has that white stone mask back on again. And she says, "It's talking to you, isn't it? It's probably saying all manner of terrible things, isn't it? What's it saying to you? Tell me, I want to know so badly. Tell me."
I don't think that's any of your business.
She already knows.
If she knows, then she wouldn't ask.
I don't think that's true. Surely she gets just as much joy in repeating these things to you as I do.
Well, she's not making it very, it's not making it a very enticing offer the more she keeps talking, is it?
Who said you had a choice in the matter? Look at the faces of your friends.
She does peel off 2 of the golden tickets and hands them out to the Beckwiths.
Thank you. Oh.
See how greedily they hand you over just for a scrap of paper that you know won't do anything for them. How
She brought
sad.
us prezzies. I like her.
She walks over and she peels off one of them for Cornelia.
Cornelia is going to take it. Could we amend this offer?
I'm listening.
I know that you're a wise enough woman not to accept one of the children instead. However, I'm sure you can notice looking at this group that Marguerite has certain qualities the rest of us lack. Qualities that could become useful in helping us meet our final goals.
Mm.
May we keep her until we find our peace.
Until the 5 of you achieve transcendence, that could be centuries. And although I do have the luxury of time, not that much.
If your word is good, it shouldn't take long.
I am prepared to allow her to remain until one of you achieves transcendence.
And then where does she go?
I believe Cornelia's shadow was going to say something.
Nope, just getting prepped, just in case the moment presented itself.
She looks at you, Oliver, and she says, "You've grown quite fond of her so quickly. That is what I like about you, Oliver, your passion." There it is. She's like, "I'm out." She's like, well, this puts me in a bit of a quandary because I want to explain something that's relevant to her. She looks at you, Oliver, and she says, "You must be new here. Otherwise, I would have heard something happened to you. Do you know what this is? Has anybody explained to you the Tempest? Has anyone explained Stygia to you?"
Well, not in its entirety. I'm always happy to learn. But as you pointed out, that is why I am defensive of Marguerite. She's been the only one who's been, I feel like, friendly and completely honest with me since I've been here.
Oh, Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Whoops. That's not fair. We've been nothing but gently to you.
Well, how about we don't argue in front of the nice lady, because we're trying to negotiate right now, and
Two of us.
better of a front that. See, there we go. See, she knows. There we go.
Yes.
This is how negotiations work.
It's best not to argue in front of me, Joseph.
Why not? We argue all the time.
She looks down at you and she just sort of nods a little bit. Again, she's put the mask back on, so it's difficult to make out her facial expressions. And she says, "It works like this, Oliver. The world out there, the Skinlands, I believe you called them in the common parlance. You can make it out if you squint. This, the Shadowlands, the reflection of the world right next to it. If almost like you could reach out and touch it. If you're careful, on occasion you can. Past this, there is a place called the Tempest. It is an endless sea surrounded by endless storms. It is very easy to get lost. It is very easy to find yourself cast astray and destroyed. However, she looks down at the two of you. She says, "The Titanic still sails the Tempest. Did you know that?"
I did not.
Josephine just clutches the golden ticket like very tightly in her hand, and she's like, all that matters is that now we know.
And you may well find your opportunity there to get back aboard. Again, as I said, nothing is ever truly lost, my child. Which brings us to Stygia. Stygia is the capital of the spirit world for America, Europe, most of the planet. It is here, but it transcends time, space. It is always moving and changing and evolving, but there are some things that are always fixed. And anything lost, she motions towards the crater where your tower was, ends up there inevitably. You can find Roman hanging gardens standing side by side with the radioactive husks of schoolhouses from Hiroshima. Go there and you will find whatever it is that you seek. And for those of you that have been wraiths for more than a day, know everything she just said is true. You did not know the Titanic was still sailing, but everything ends up in Stygia. That is correct.
Carly, I have a bit of a problem with the offer you're making me. Really do.
Oh, please. I would just like to say, I understand. And she looks at Marguerite, why you would want all this to last. I'm sure she is very sweet. But what are your two problems, Oliver, while we are negotiating?
Well, the first one being, I don't like uncertain terms. I don't like not knowing how things are going to happen. I don't know where Marguerite is going, and while we've only known each other for a few hours, I think. I don't really know how time works, but she's been nothing but a friend to me so far.
I was nothing but a friend to you for much longer than that, Oliver.
Which is why I hope you will be willing to work with me on this.
Oh, the problem is the Prince Charming shit doesn't work because you didn't give a fuck when I got murdered. So,
well, I think we both know that's not true.
Yes, Shadow. You are muted, Shadow.
You can absolutely keep trying to negotiate, but we all know you've never had any friends.
I don't want to move on. I want to go home, Carly.
Well, like I said, if you can get in the tower, maybe you can work a miracle. As for what I want, she turns, and you might recall she waved a hand, and all of the nearby spirits stopped and turned their backs at the time. She just clenches her fist, and you see all of the spirits nearby start like clutching at their chests and throats, like something's wrong with them. She says, "My clan transcends life and death. You all represent a mystery to me that I find exquisite. And what Marguerite can do, the influence she has in this world and in mine, is invaluable. So yes, my dear, I can wait. But at some point, you are mine."
Then you'll have no problem waiting for all of us.
As I said, 1.
2.
2. Do I think 2 of you can find fulfillment from your wretched state?
I assure you these simple children will be able to find exactly what they need.
That's quite rude. You don't even know what we need.
Shut up.
Maybe we don't even want fulfillment.
Yeah, do you ever think of that?
You'll
Quite
never
like
get fulfillment.
I like scaring people and causing chaos and bad things to happen.
What are you going to do? Go back to the Titanic where they'll figure out what you've done? Oh, he doesn't know, does he? Maybe you should go then. Maybe he'll find out everything. Then who will you have in your life? No one.
Josephine takes the ticket and kind of shoves it back into Carly's hand and is like, honestly, it would be quite boring to lose Marguerite. I think we might need to come up with a different plan.
What are you doing? We're going to see Mummy and Daddy.
No, Joseph, this is not the way. I think we need a different plan.
Let's have Mummy and Daddy find out what you've done.
I'm going to hold my breath till I pass out, Josephine.
When you go to try and put the ticket back in her hand, she doesn't take it. She just looks down and she says, "My dear child, when the time comes, if you don't want to disembark at that accursed boat, you don't have to. The end of the line is Stygia. In either way," and she leans down and you can see her blue eyes through the mask. She says, "I have done my part."
I think at this point, Oliver is going to kind of puff up his chest. "Carly, I don't entirely know what you are. I don't entirely understand all of this yet. But even with all of the possibilities that I have been learning about today, you still know how valuable this is and how valuable this can be if we can work together.
Is he talking about his hair?
She steps in very close to you, very much in your bubble. And she says, "Well, Oliver, if you survive the next little while, if you don't transcend, then I am sure I can come up with something for you. The challenge is," and when she says that, Marguerite, the planchette in your pocket starts to burn.
I'll take it out and I throw it on the floor.
When you go, you can't bring yourself to touch it even. It just is like it's stuck to you and painful.
If I'm in a dress, I'm just going to attempt to like just pull the fabric as far away from myself as possible.
You all see she like starts patting at it and like pulling it away from her, somewhat futilely. And Carly just turns and looks at you and she says, I'm not the only one that knows about that. I'm not the only one that knows about you. And I assure you, there are those who would not say please and thank you and give out train rides and wish fulfillment or whatever the fuck else you think this is. At least I will remember you have a name. At least I will make sure you don't end up like that. And when she says that, the specter just goes, what's wrong with this? I had great tits at 1.2.
Help my friends. And if you are able to help me find out what this means, then I will go with you. Only after.
Does the shadow have anything to add to this?
Good for you. You finally found a purpose for yourself. I'm so glad. Honestly, it was boring being in your ear this whole time when you weren't doing anything interesting. Do you think you'll like being a puppet?
I'm not a puppet. I'm actually very necessary to this entire operation here. So I'm going to choose to go willingly and help people rather than just sit back and let somebody decide for me.
Is it a choice?
It is.
Think about it. The alternative is she takes you by force.
I'll deal with that if it comes to it.
It must be nice pretending that you have a spine after all this time. You lived your whole life without one. I'm glad you've finally grown something there.
How I lived my life in the past and how I live my life now is different.
You don't have a life now, dear.
Oh, but I do.
Carly puts one of the two tickets that she still has and hands them out to Oliver and Marguerite. She says, train leaves at midnight and departs at 12:03. You should move along. She pulls out a gold stopwatch, pocket watch, if you intend to catch it.
I wait to take it, seeing what Marguerite's doing.
I'll take. If what you say is true, and if you do indeed help, as I grab one.
Right when you take it from her, the planchette stops burning.
Well, Carly, it looks like you have strong-armed a situation again. I will take your ticket.
Again, Oliver, I spent so long trying to be perfect, to be my daddy's little girl, to be the type of woman that could get a hot, successful man like you. And in the end, you know what that got me? Killed. And she just takes 3 steps back from you, and you see it's like everything around her starts to swirl and turn black, and she just passes into it and is gone. And the specter dissipates also.
We're a lovely lady.
May I use mirror to put a really gross reflection in the golden ticket that Marguerite is holding on to?
Absolutely. Is it the same gross reflection or a different one?
Yep, she's gonna see her decomposing body again. It's paper.
It is
shiny paper.
It's like full Wonka
So
golden
shiny.
ticket. Yeah. And that is there's a split second where you're like, I mean, Stygia, and then there it is again, Marguerite. There it is again.
God damn it.
Marguerite, are you okay?
No.
I'm okay. I'm okay if somebody would just leave me alone for 1 minute of my life.
Can't leave you alone. I'm you.
Your
I mean,
unlife.
Shut up.
I think I've been here for a few hours, and we've had a lot of people just kind of come out of the shadows. Is this like a recurring thing? Am I bad at making deals? Like I'm trying to figure this all out, but it's going quite fast, even for me.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know who you could actually trust and who's out there to help you if the default is that no one is.
This isn't so different from your life after all, is it?
Sadly, no. If Carly, I mean, I knew her. I did.
Yes, how did you know each other?
Yes, how did you know each other?
They fornicated.
We had been
Tell them about the time that you left her at that party. The holiday party, remember? You went in with her on your arm. Ultimately, you decided it wasn't a valuable investment.
We were friends. And in life, I didn't have as much time as I would like, and she needed more than I could give.
If they knew the real story. There was none of you to give. There was nothing.
But what I do know is that she was at least being earnest. I don't think she was lying, though she was very careful not to say too much. Maybe that's why. Maybe because she knew I would know.
For those of you that, again, have lived here for some time, you do know the Midnight Express departs at midnight every night. Again, she was not lying about that. It arrives at midnight. It departs at 12:03. It arrives at every train station everywhere at midnight and departs at 12:03. So you all could make your way to a nearby subway station, probably without issue, but only if you depart soon.
I suggest that we move, or else all of this was for nothing, and we've handed over our souls for no reason.
Josephine is gonna grab Ollie's hand and just literally start pulling him toward the subway station, like, let's go! Come on! Let's go!
I'll grab his other hand and Marguerite's hand. Come on,
you won't.
let's go!
No.
You don't let him touch you this time with this filthy
Absolutely
hand?
not. No. Dirty hands.
When he grabs Oliver's hand, I'm going to roll against myself to vampire.
This is it.
How much willpower does Joseph currently have there, Justice?
Oh, why are you asking questions like that?
Yeah, technically it hasn't replenished. You guys haven't slept. I don't know if you've spent any, but if you have, it's not back yet.
5. I haven't spent any yet.
Okay.
Yep.
Oliver has though. So
I don't even what even is PvP when it's you against you? Like I don't.
So first roll, call it. Who's this for?
This will be for Oliver.
Okay. So I'm gonna not look. Take one of the dice away.
Okay.
I got 2 for him. And then I'm gonna roll this one.
I appreciate the cat's like, why is everybody saying such bad things to you, Mama?
Damn it, just 2. So I got nothing.
Okay. All right.
That was fruitless endeavor.
Very on brand for Wraith, though.
Stop playing with yourself, Mason.
Give me, all of you, as you're making your way towards the subway station, give me, hang on, I have to give you the proper parlance because the skills had slightly different names in Wraith. As an aside, everyone, I don't think I said this clearly at the top. We are playing just straight up Wraith The Oblivion 20th edition with some minor tweaks just to make it a little easier. Give me your wits and alert and awareness. Still wits and awareness. Yeah. Three.
4 for me.
1, 4. 1,
6.
6. Ollie, as you're coming down into the subway station, you notice there's a lot of roaches, which in and of itself is not necessarily unusual for New York, but it does kind of spark in your mind that this is the first wildlife you've seen, actually. Like, there haven't been bugs and animals and things until you're seeing these roaches. Marguerite, you're certain these roaches are watching you. They are lined up in a row on at the top of like a tile wall, and their little antennas are just looking at you.
Do you all see that?
Yeah, I was going to ask. There's not a lot of animals around, huh?
No, but the roaches. Do you see them? They're all they like literally just
Nasty little creatures.
Nanny always said to simply choose not to see roaches.
Well, whether you choose to or not, they're still there and they're still watching us.
What are you afraid they're going to do? They're just bugs.
I don't know. Nothing is just a thing they are here.
I don't know what that means.
Once she points it out to you, it's true. As you all descend the staircase, you see the little roaches, the row of them, turn and they watch you. There.
Can I make my way over to them?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Like, just kind of slowly.
Mm-hmm. They.
Gross, Ollie, don't touch him.
Oh, Marguerite, why did you bring him here?
I'm gonna like put my finger out and just see what they do if I kind of like almost not really like not like jab, but just kind of a gentle poke.
They slightly move apart. Like, you know, when you go to kiss your cat and it moves just enough for you not to touch it, basically. That's what they
Hey little guys. Can you understand me?
like, you see they physically turn and like look at each other and then just all turn and look back at you in unison.
Feels kind of like a maybe. You can you do like in a movie or something, like spell words? Because that would make this a lot easier. If you just, I know coordinated.
Crush them. Crush the roaches. Marguerite is disgusted by them. Don't you wish to impress her? Crush them.
I'm gonna kind of like have a fist kind of go behind my back for a second. I'm just beginning to learn if they don't know what you are. I figured I would try, seeing as how nothing seems to be insignificant here. So show us whatever magic you have. Reveal your secrets, please. I'm just talking to these bugs on the floor.
Do they know English?
He's mighty strange.
Oh, definitely.
Oliver Swift. You all hear a voice kind of from nowhere in particular. We did not expect to see you here.
Yeah, I gotten that a lot today. Can I see who's speaking?
Nope. The cockroaches are looking at you, but the voice is disembodied.
I'm used to it now. Okay, this is fine.
You here to catch the train, champ?
I am all ears as to reason why I should not.
No reason. I just like to pop in here on occasion and see how the other half lives. I'll make sure the word gets out that you're terminally indisposed.
You're on the other side too?
I'm everywhere, man. I'm the cockroach.
That strangely makes sense. Can you tell me, you seem to be a being of greater power than me. you know how useful I can be. If you've been on the other side, you know who I am. Everybody seems to like.
No. Go on. I'm loving it. No, come on. You're bartering.
Everybody seems to make deals. Yeah, I know, but everybody's making deals here. So, what can we do? I would like very much to get back home.
Right when you say that, you hear, and there's just a train is just there. It doesn't pull in. You don't hear it coming. There's not a whistle. It's just train noises, train. And as you see there is a one single car that looks like a dinner car, and there's clearly bullet holes all through it. Like it was absolutely riddled with like Tommy gun fire. And the door slides open. And although you can make out the fact that the train goes as far as you can see to the left and as far as you can see to the right, it is just wispy and spectral, except for this one single car. And a man steps out in an very late 1800s conductor types get up. Says, all aboard to the Midnight Express. Meow! Departing in 2 minutes, 45 seconds. All aboard. And
Let's go.
And you see spirits moving towards it of all different kinds.
Look, it sounds like we don't have much time. You know how valuable my indebtedness to you can be, and I feel like you may already have some idea of what I want.
Yeah, I tell you what, put your hand down.
Just kind of gently place it on the floor.
One of the roaches runs up your hand and runs up your sleeve.
Ew, gross.
Let's just see how the night works out. Also, what's up with your judgmental friends here? Like this little kid looks like he wants to step on the roaches, and like this like mega fucking hottie here seems all freaked out. Like, come on, like roaches are a vital piece of the evolutionary chain here.
Of course,
2 minutes, 15 seconds. Oh,
You're not wrong, and I agree with you. I'm coming. Okay, just look. I appreciate the tag along. I know we don't have time, and I will be back. If you can look into Carly, if you can look into, I feel like you know what I want, but I know we've got to go. So I'll be back.
Quite a surprise. Yeah, travel safe. Keep your hands and feet in the cabin at all times.
Are we hearing any of this, or are we at
all of it?
even? Oh, all of it. Okay.
All of it. Yeah. The voice is very much from nowhere in particular, but like the roaches are very intently looking at him, but the voice is like disembodied.
Yeah, Josephine is just trying to pull him onto the train.
Yep.
I really think we should go.
1 minute, 40 seconds to departure. Now.
I've already stepped aboard.
Okay, I look back at see the rest of them. All right.
Yes, Shadow.
Remember when you made that deal with Saltzman and you said, "Wow, this is the lowest I'll ever get."
Yeah, well, I wasn't dead yet, was I?
Oh yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
Master Beckwith, yes. Mm-hmm.
While the attention is being focused on the roaches and the conductor, and there's a lot going on, I'd really like to steal that planchette.
It's have at it. I would say she definitely counts as distracted with a disembodied voice and quasi-anthropomorphic roaches. So same thing, Marguerite, give me your wits and awareness against his dex and... what did we decide we were doing for pickpocketing here?
Larceny, because I have a specialty in pickpocket.
Yep. Like I said, the scales are ranged slightly differently back then.
Are there critical successes in this? Like there are in... There are. Oh,
Yes.
Look at that. And that counts as how many? Like
that is one of the things we're house ruling, that we're still just doing 2 10s as 4 successes. Because in the old game, the 10s exploded, but the 1s took away successes. So we're
But you gotta
I've
have
been
two of
rolling
them, right?
higher. I thought we weren't doing any of that.
Yeah, no, but at least that we'll let that roll. So, all right, so
I'm gonna use bad luck on Joseph.
Who are you?
force a reroll of 1 success, correct?
I can
Right.
force as many as I'm willing to spend angst.
Oh, how
And-
many?
and in this case, it's 2.
well, yeah. Well, hold on first, Joseph. How many successes did you have?
I got 7 with one critical.
Damn.
So 7 with only 1 10, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
All right, so you're
7
gonna.
actual over 5s.
Do you want to force a reroll of 2 of those, Shadow, or you're gonna force a reroll of 3? So reroll 3 of those successes. Bad luck does not. Although theoretically, if they rolled better, they get to keep it, right? Or does bad luck expressly say take the lowest?
I think it says take lowest. Let me double check.
Just 'cause it is bad luck. Theoretically, it might actually work out better if it's just a blanket reroll.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah, just reroll. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
All 3 of those came out as successes. I didn't get a critical.
Okay.
I didn't get a recritical, but
7. Marguerite.
I got 7 successes, and 2 of those were 10s.
Here's how. So ties go to the active participant, but that is 7 with a crit. So here's what I'm going to say. He gets the planchette, but you know he did it. Like as it's sort of like sliding out of your pocket. You're kind of like, what the?
You know, I played very nice throughout this whole game. I've been very kind to these children, but fuck him in particular right now, and I will smack him hard as I can across the face.
Give me your dex and brawl, and give me your dex and athletics to get out of the way. Vampiric touch. 1 minute to depart. All aboard the Midnight Express. Departing in 1 minute to the Tempest, Stygia, and parts unknown.
I'm sorry, you said Dex and what now?
Athletics.
What do I roll for Vampiric Touch?
You just need to roll however many willpower she has.
Yeah. What's your willpower at currently, Marguerite?
It's at 5.
I only got 2, unfortunately. So
Cool.
not dice are not on my side.
Although, hang on a second, but before we cross this over, Marguerite's Shadow is not rolling against Marguerite, right? Isn't she rolling against Joseph, or Marguerite's Shadow is rolling against Marguerite?
She's rolling against Joseph.
Yes,
Joseph's willpower.
It's Joseph's willpower is what you.
The shadows roll it, but it's their willpower.
Right. Because you're attacking Joseph actively.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I will double check, but yes, that is my understanding.
A lot's happening, especially when there's 2 of us, but then there's cross things.
Yeah.
There's 4 of us, and then there's just a lot going on.
Okay, I got 1 success on my athletics and dexterity because that's not my good thing.
How many, Marguerite?
I also got 1 because I have no brawl.
But again, ties go to the active person, so she cuffs him across the ear, like full Fight Club. You hit me in the ear, just yeah.
I'm gonna spin that and roll into the ground, and actually I'm gonna try and fall into Josephine when she just spin into the hit, and palm the planchette to her in the process.
Can you also roll for me, Josephine? Josephine's Shadow.
Yep.
Do I notice any of this?
I will. Let's see how this all shakes out for it, because you super know he took the thing from. Like, you're 100% sure he took it from you.
Sorry, Mason. Was that you need my shadow to roll?
Yep. So if Nora can roll your willpower, too many names. Okay.
That's true. A lot's happening. Yes.
I'm rolling my willpower.
Yes, you roll your willpower.
And I'm rolling my willpower for
Yes, but I need to know how many willpower you have.
5.
Okay.
Yes, Shadow. Please proceed.
I want to see what the outcome of this roll is real quick.
Get criticals.
Again, for everybody, they're using Vampiric Touch, which multiple of the shadows have, which is a shadow versus shadow ability where you steal angst. So the shadows are taking power from each other every time they're touching each other.
Joseph, are you going to let her hit you like that? Make a fool of you like that? Strike back. Use my power.
Oh, she's not going to make a fool of me. I've got plans. Don't you worry, Shadow.
Departing. Oh,
We good. Let's go. Let's get on that train, Dave.
yeah, departing in 30 seconds. No, I don't want to get in the. I don't want to get in between that juicy shadow action there. It's just
Dirty.
So, how many was that? So let's make sure we've resolved all of the
all the touching.
Yeah, exactly. All the bad touching. So, for Joseph, how many did you get in defense?
2 on willpower.
2 on willpower. So, Marguerite, so that is it's the difference you take, right? In the roll?
Yes, the difference.
So you get 3 angst from Joseph's shadow. So, Mason, you lose 3 angst to Marguerite's shadow. Then I believe there was another one of these exchanges that I felt was also happening, correct? Because Emily's shadow had to roll.
When I bump into Josephine, yeah.
Okay, all right. So Josephine's shadow got how many successes?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got 3 successes.
Motherfucker.
How many successes did you? So less than 3, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've rolled 2 4 times now.
Yep. So yes, you did lose overall in this exchange, but
I
presumably
really
after I will say in the commotion of trying to get to the train, because you have the presence of mind of the fact that the Midnight Express will leave you. I will say in the shuffle, Joseph, you are able to hand off the planchette as you will basically scramble aboard. And when you get inside, you see, again, this probably was a very nice dinner car once. It has a very late 1800s aesthetic. Lots of velvets in rich colors and things that are riddled with bullets and stained with blood. And there is a bartender wearing an old-timey saloon type outfit whose jaw is just hanging on loosely like it was shot off, but hasn't quite fallen, and is standing there kind of wiping the countertop, pouring whiskey with his other hand as you all come aboard. What would you all like to do? And yes, you super know these children robbed you, Marguerite.
Yeah, I get in. I'll bring them in very close. I'm like, listen, children, I know exactly what you did. And believe me, if I don't have that back right now, I will make it my soul's eternal mission to make your life miserable.
Have what back?
You know fucking well what I need and what you took from me.
I'm going to start crying and clutching my ear. And at the book's suggestion, I took a specialty in subterfuge with bald-faced lying, or persuasion with a specialty in innocence. One of those two, I'd like to just. When you hit me, I dropped it. I'm sorry, I took it. I didn't mean to, but I dropped it out on the platform. I'm sorry.
Joseph, shh.
Don't you think I know exactly what you're up to? Don't you think I've been around you long enough to know that you're full of shit?
But I dropped it, I promise. I'm so sorry, Marguerite. I just wanted to take a look at it.
Well, then you're just going to have to bring it back to me, won't you?
I can't. It's out there. We're gone now.
You're going to let them go after you like this. You know you could punish them properly. We could punish them. Really teach them a lesson.
How should we punish them?
Look at your hands. Just picture them around Joseph's neck, squeezing. Make him feel your frustration.
But there's so many people watching.
Darling, they all know you're capable of this. They're all just waiting for it. He deserves it. You know he does.
He does deserve it, doesn't he?
A bratty sister of his, too.
I hate them both so much.
They stole from you. How dare they steal from you?
Something that doesn't even belong to them. It's not even a toy.
You know what you have to do.
Selfish. Yes. Them both.
While you are observing this, and as an aside, although you are wraiths, you are incorporeal, it is possible to damage each other. It is possible to be destroyed, which is how Cornelia was able to obliterate that specter. While you all are sort of having this exchange and you hear this loud crying, you hear, "Why are you crying, boy?" And at the far end of the rail car, which, Oliver, you're starting to catch on again to the fact that many things here are non-Euclidean. Even though you looked and it clearly was a boxcar, as you were looking to the left and the right, it, goes for a tremendous distance in each direction. And you see a large hooded figure with bony fingers in a hood draped over it, holding a stick in the middle of this train. Again, the rest of you recognize it is a ferryman. This is what they do. They run the Midnight Express and many other ways of transit across the world. Did something happen to you, child? Are you lost?
I'm not lost. She hit me and accused me of stealing something I didn't say.
She was mean to him. She yelled at him.
I would like to utilize honeyed tongue.
Uh-huh.
And we established that this is used against the shadow, correct?
Against the psyche.
Yeah, you...
Or not yet. Thank you, Justice.
Yeah, Wait, hang on. Is your goal to inhibit Marguerite or is your goal to inhibit Joseph?
I want to convince Marguerite to do something.
Let me double check, but I do believe that was what we concluded.
Yeah, I think we decided that when I used it on Mason's character last week.
Yeah, it makes it easier for you to manipulate your target. Because again, yes, the shadows on occasion do have constructive abilities, especially because it's a way for you to honestly lure them in by helping on occasion. But for the most part, what you do is designed to make their life worse. I'm just pulling up Honey Tongue real quick.
Dirty.
Yes, absolutely. This is a way for you to become supernaturally persuasive towards Marguerite. You, Marguerite, can. Of course, I just closed it before I finished saying the important part. What is your manipulation and subterfuge, Marguerite?
Where is it?
Manipulation's up at the top, and subterfuge is one of the skills.
Oh, I'm going to tell you how many I have.
Yeah, just what the total number is.
Okay, manipulation plus subterfuge. So that is going to be 5 total.
So this is actually easier than normal for you to do, Shadow. You roll your angst. You do remember you never reveal how much angst you've got because the Wraith never knows the power of its shadow. And then tell me how many successes that you get. However, Marguerite, pending what it is that she says to you, you can spend a point of willpower to counteract it and not give into it. But then your willpower is reduced for the next thing, and the shadow slowly chips away at you. So, how many successes is that?
6.
And so you basically have one sentence that you can say to her that she essentially will believe, or at least find incredibly persuasive.
He deserves this punishment.
He absolutely does.
And then I would like to utilize Freudian slip to sort of jet her hands at his throat.
I know Freudian slip will make them say something. Will it make them do something also?
Yeah, it's the shadow can force a wraith to make a sudden involuntary action or make a quick unedited statement.
Then that is what happens. You realize you're like, fuck them kids, and you reach out and grab him. Marguerite, you do reach out and grab him.
You're a liar!
Well, Marguerite, I'm going to try and get her hands off of the child because that is my reflex. I don't know if I'm strong enough though.
It's
She's touching me.
That is true. She is touching you. Marguerite, you tell me, because again, you're like, he does super deserve this. But after you squeeze him for a second, you have your wits about you. So really, do you squeeze him for a second and let go, or do you lean into it?
I will let the hate flow through you. I'm going to get him when he least expects it.
You quite a timber and quite dramatic young man. You all will never achieve transcendence like this. And it comes closer to you, and although you can't see its feet, you hear what sounds like heavy boots stomping when it walks, even though it's more like it glides. And it says, "Don't you want to be free of all this? Don't you want to be at peace?"
Are you going to make us a deal? Because that seems to be the theme so far.
You shouldn't presume to talk to people you don't know.
I think these children need a lesson, though, because people who steal never reach transcendence. Isn't that right, Josephine? And I and her shadow will Freudian slip her.
Is there something specific you are you gonna let it be? Oh yes, please, yes.
You're not gonna get away with this. You just want attention because everybody's paying attention to Joseph. You have it, don't you? You have it. And I'll try to make her say, I did steal it.
How does that come out, Josephine? So let me see if you have a defensive slip. I'm a little okay. There was something else I was going to do, but now it makes no sense. So I'm waiting to see how this shakes out so I can decide what to do.
Perfect. Hang on a second here. Let me just double check Freudian slip. I apologize there. I did see you were trying to say something. Let's see.
It happened.
Didn't erase must. You can make a willpower roll, Josephine, but it is difficulty 7. So what that means is you roll whatever willpower you've got, but it is only them being 7 or more on the die will affect whether or not you can actually resist this compulsion.
Okay.
So I got, let's see.
She rolled
2 successes.
2 is what you need.
Okay.
But it is echoing around in your mind. Confess, 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 confess.
Okay, so basically, all of this chaos is happening in the moment that Marguerite has attacked Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
When Marguerite pulls back from her attack on Joseph, Josephine is basically crouched next to Joseph, full horror movie. Like it's like a shadow has fallen across her face, and her hair that seemed like it's almost like you're seeing her in a different light entirely, where you sense that there is just pure evil deep within her, and she hears everything that the ferryman is saying, and she just stares daggers straight into Marguerite, and she says, I will never cross over as long as she's here. I will make sure she stays here as long as humanly possible. And then, like, there's a little flicker as she feels the urge to confess. And then she just, as long as I need.
Such furious, devoted, willful beings. You don't have to hold on to all of this. And he puts a hand on your shoulder, Oliver, and it's bones. Full skeletal. But when you look in the hood, there's just nothing there. Don't have to stay like this, friend. There can be peace for you. And it's huge. It looms over you, like 8 foot tall.
I understand that, and unless you are offering, I'm working towards that. So, guys, if we could pull it together, we're kind of embarrassing me in front of the scary bone man. So, we have a lot to get done here, and we are not going to get it done if we keep fighting like this, okay?
Oh.
Are you on some sort of timetable I'm unaware of?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you, I mean, I know you're pretty strong, but are you just going to find all of these details and things you need on your own? Because you seem to be stuck. You seem to have been stuck for a long time.
Is that true, sister? Are you stuck? You can let go. You don't have to cling to this. You can just release it. Move on.
Stop talking about things you don't understand. Ollie.
I understand. It seems like it all matters. I assure you it doesn't. Whatever you think you want, revenge, love, notoriety, to get back that lost thing in Stygia, to find your missing child, whatever it is, it won't bring you peace.
Are we just okay with this guy?
It won't bring you peace, so you should just destroy him. Obliterate them all. There's no peace for you anyway. Obliterate them.
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, brothers and sisters, just lay down your burdens and move on.
Would you please make better use of your time elsewhere, sir?
When you say that, Cornelia, near at the bar near you, there is a tall, pale man that's sipping on a whiskey that just says, he kind of can't help himself. You see, he's hard up on hard luck cases. You kind of just sort of gotta ignore him until they move on, you say. And it's,
I don't recall anyone speaking to you, sir.
Oh, yeah. No. Then please, by all means. Hey, ferryman, this one in particular seems extra lost. This last, yeah. Hey, barkeep, extra one for the lost last. Here, and the bartender does pour another one, and the ferryman does lean closer. You do seem extra lost. It has been so long since I've seen one in your garb, all long since either transcended or descended into oblivion. So much in your heart must keep you bound. And he bangs on the bar top with his skeletal hand. Here. It doesn't have to be that way, sister. It doesn't have to be that way.
I like this one. He's right. It doesn't have to be this way.
Is there a
Obliterate.
Yeah, there's like a shot glass, a very old timey saloon type shot glass of an indeterminate brown liquor that this jaw hanging off man has just sort of poured in front of you.
As soon as my shadow starts talking to me, I'm gonna, in one sweeping motion, knock all of the drinks off the bar. Not just mine, but also the drunk gentleman who has decided he's a part of this conversation.
That's a waste of good.
Balance yourselves.
The man at the bar reaches in to his waistcoat and he pulls out 2 of the oobly coins and he goes, here's a paid ferryman. You see, it's there may be some wayward souls a little further that way. You know, if you catch my meaning there, ferryman. And he hands it out to them. And the skeletal hand does reach out and clutch them. And he just says, I hope you find what you're looking for in Stygia, friends. I hope you rest with the angels soon. And he does turn and start walking further down the cart, and he does just kind of get a little further out of earshot and stop and look at a woman who's very much looking out the windows. And he's like, oh, storm's coming. And right when he says that, you all hear, and the whole car starts to shake violently. And you hear kind of like screams in duress from all over the car as you look out the windows and you see something difficult to comprehend. It is a gargantuan, swirling, endless storm. You're in a train. You can hear an engine. It sounds like you're on rails somehow. And yet, as you look out, you're surrounded by a tempestuous ocean over which is swirling a massive and eternal storm, not so different from what you saw in the Spectre. There are bits of broken glass, the detritus from a tornado swirling around, the wrecked barns, crushed ships, any manner of things that could be destroyed by sea or by air is swirling around you in this maelstrom that is the Tempest. This is the boundary between the Shadowlands and Stygia.
Do we feel threatened by the storm at all? Or is
it's terrifying, but I mean, the train seems to be rolling on.
How does sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how long until we get there, guys? Because Spooky Storm's kind of got me a little bit uncomfortable, if I'm being honest.
Josephine is just sitting, staring daggers at Marguerite. Like, hasn't spoken since that moment.
I'm staring back. My question was, how does puppetry work on other wraiths?
Well, let's take a quick look. Any particular power?
Well, I just want to have Josephine just hand it over to me. Just reach into her pockets where I know it is and just hand it back.
I believe for the most part, puppetry is about manipulating mortals, but let me look.
Yeah, I didn't know if it worked on wraiths or if it was just for mortals.
Let's see. Let's see. Actually, hang on, let me. I'm gonna have to take a look in a second. I believe puppetry is mostly for manipulating mortals, but we'll put that down as a maybe. Oh, hang on a second. Let me see here. Okay. Yeah, I think that is for manipulating and possessing mortals, but I will double check. However, as you all are rampaging through the Tempest here, and people are looking at the walls, and you can see up in the sky, in the midst of all of this swirling decay and detritus, specters like the ones you saw forming and coming along and reaching out and raking their hands across the windows as it is going by. And you hear the howl and screams that are equal part wind and lost souls. Oftentimes, specters come out here simply because they enjoy it, but oftentimes, wraiths that have attempted to cross foolishly without the proper preparation get lost and twisted out here and end up spending eternity wandering aimlessly through the never-ending storm. However, as you all are moving through here, all of you give me your wits and awareness. Three, 1, 3, 4,
Yeah.
1. As the Beckwiths sit alternatively comforting each other and staring angrily at Marguerite for her arrogance and being so
Impertinent.
Impertinent is exactly the word I'm looking for. The other three of you, as you sort of look at them sitting on the ground, this tall, thin man that is still by the bar next to Cornelia goes, man, that's a sight you don't see every day out there. Why don't you watch out for icebergs up ahead? What you should do? And as you all sort of unconsciously kind of turn and look out the window, it takes you a second to make out what is happening in the midst of this swirling chaos. And then you see it out on the waves, bobbing to and fro, cracked right down the middle and covered in dead and drowning people, is the wreck of the Titanic, coasting through the storms of the Tempest. And that is a good place for us to take a little break. So we'll do 9 minutes. We'll come back in 10 minutes after, and which is funny because as of this exact second, everybody but the Beckwith children realize it's there. The two of you have yet to notice. And
I don't know what it is, so means nothing to me.
That is true. That is true. And we'll be back in 10 minutes after. Also, doggo tags. There she is. Hello.
Hey.
Beanie.
It's true. Also, Hodor is like, I'm being punished for being cooperative. You know, for being the best boy, he is suffering materially.
He won't even look at me right now.
Disgusted. Just disgusted. He's become your shadow. That's what's happened. You know what you did.
If that's the worst part of me, I'm okay with that.
That is true. It's true. Wait, have you been his shadow this entire time? Plot twist. You were Hodor's shadow the entire time.
It's like a sixth day. You don't know which one the clone is. The shadow. Which one's the shadow? Which one's the psyche?
Yeah. Like, spoiler alert, you were all shadows. Yes. So you all are on the Midnight Express, making your way across the Tempest. You all are in a dining car that bears the markings of a massacre. Bullet holes are punched all through the exterior. Much of the furniture is shot up and bloodstained. Again, Oliver, you're catching on to the fact that things don't really make sense here. That the cart is clearly got multiple holes in it, and yet whatever this storm is on the outside isn't getting in. You are, again, it is a train that is somehow crossing an ocean that is somehow also a storm. Okay. And again, as you all were there, this tall, pale man at the bar says to watch out for icebergs. Dead ahead when icebergs, I say. As you all look out and see the wreck of the Titanic sailing along the waves. But as of yet, the Beckwith children have yet to notice. As you pointed out, Cornelia, Cornelia, I'll let you decide if you know what the Titanic is, because we have established she frequents museums. So she may have heard over time, or she may have no idea. I'll leave that up to you.
I feel like she is willfully ignorant. She is, like textbook definition, living in the past. Like literally, she goes to the museum, stares at that knife, and tries to get people to notice her.
Got it. And I feel like the Beckwiths probably have tried to tell you multiple times about the unsinkable ship. But again, you came over from England. You know firsthand there is no such thing as an unsinkable ship. Also, obviously, clearly, or you wouldn't be dead. But that being said, yes, the three of you are aware of this. The children are not.
How I kind of, as I notice it, I'm going to glance at Marguerite to see if she has also noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try and be quiet, even though I know the children are very nosy. You know what that is?
Yes.
What are the chances of them just going off and us being free of two children to complete what we're trying to do?
God, I would want that so badly, except that little brat has my,
Okay.
Other than that, I would have, by the boot, just kicked her off of this thing.
You'd love to be alone with him, wouldn't you?
You know what? Yes, I freaking would right now. It's been a day. But yeah, I don't think.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just.
I'm curious about the are there little rooms with little slidey doors like Hogwarts style? Are we looking at individual British train car sort of thing, or what is this?
This particular one seems like it was more of a dining cart. But again, it goes off in each direction. So maybe.
But this one's open concept for this.
Concept, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's got good feng shui.
Mm-hmm.
Marguerite, when are we stopping?
Marguerite. Well, sorry, I apologize. You, as a citizen of this world, knows that, on occasion it makes multiple stops, but for the most part, it goes to Stygia. I mean, Stygia is the capital. That's where it goes. If you want it to make a different stop or do something different, you got to pay extra for that.
I mean, Stygia is the last stop, but I don't expect it to go anywhere else unless somebody had requested.
So I don't know how this works. Could we go to Stygia and then drop the children off on the unsinkable ship on the way back?
Oh, on the way back, absolutely. But do you think you could help me? With getting...
Of course. What do you need me to do?
I mean, well, I don't know. What do you think we should do? Do you think you could just hold her down and I could, but then he'd start kicking me? I don't know if we could just... Can
either of those children make me disappear with their hand like Cornelia can do? Because I mean, I'm still down to help, but I just would like to avoid hand dusting.
I don't.
Cornelia. Well, one was the shadow about to say something. Was Cornelia's shadow? Because you got the light on, so I don't want to switch. But if you were gonna,
The shadow is probably, and you tell me if we can rule of cool this, but the shadow is probably creating like almost like one of those anime cutscenes with the roses and the sparkles and all of that. Every time Marguerite looks at Ollie, like she's pushing for this whole betray your husband and focus on this guy bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I can say that it's finding a private cabin and getting, just releasing a little bit of stress might not be all.
Margaret's not fighting it. She didn't even remember her husband's name at this point. And that's
True.
like honest. She does not remember at this point what her husband's name was.
Also, wherever he is, come on. He's got his own problems, right?
Exactly.
Cornelia, while you're sort of looking at all this, this pale man sort of leans over and he goes, seem like your friends are contemplating a bit of violence there. You say, and that's a little bit of my stock and trade is both information and dispatch of undesirables. You say there, I know these kids look like kids, but plucking ghosts. You say, so I mean, if you just need somebody to just disappear into the tempest, I mean, everything's negotiable. You see, and he turns.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, and he turns and he looks at you for the first time since you've been standing here. And he looks, again, he is tall. He is gaunt. He is almost impossibly thin. You can see his collarbones kind of at the top of what you realize is sort of a black, rough spun robe that goes all the way down to his feet and has a hood on it. But the two things that jump out at you most when he turns to face you is his eyes are nictitating membranes. They blink from left to right. They don't blink from up and down.
That's
and
right.
he has 7 fingers on each hand.
Okay. The only person I'd really like to dispatch is you, but it appears that is not an option for me.
Well, there's a saying out on the streets these days. Look, clearly you haven't been on the streets for some time, but it's consent is sexy. You say so. If you're telling me that you don't value my company, I assure you, there's somebody else around here that can pay for what I have to offer.
Could you be more specific? I have heard a lot of vague promises today already, and
yeah, that's the thing. I find that's the problem when you types live forever. Just beat around the bush. You see, a lot of hot air. Is what you don't really say what you mean, what you're thinking. Like right
that's
now.
Why I'm asking you what you mean and what you're thinking.
Me? He leans down next to him, and from the floor, he picks up a lantern that has sort of a dull blue glow that is almost slightly hypnotic when you first look at it. Like you very much find your eyes kind of turn straight towards it, and he just puts it on the bar, and it is sort of like, oh, that's cool. Oh, wait. And kind of like get your wits back about you. And he says, my dear man, I'm you just call me Slua. He says, that's what I am. That's my species. Is that we're type of fae. We are. I can tell you my real name, but you can't pronounce it. None of you can with your wet jaws and weird manner of speaking. I understand you don't even have like a body anymore, and yet you still can't pronounce things properly. It's the strangest thing. But anyway, what I and mine, I'm a boogeyman of sorts. You say that's the thing in the closet under the bed, right? And so sometimes I'm just listening. I hear things, and then other times, and he reaches in his robe and pulls out a particularly wicked-looking dagger. It is about 12 inches in curves, and it is extremely sharp. You can tell just by looking at it. Sometimes the nightmare is realer than the dream, you see. That's how that goes. And then he just sort of puts it back in the sheath.
You've piqued my interest.
It always does when the blade comes out. People are like, oh, I don't want to talk to the old skinny man. And I'm all like, yeah, but what if I murdered somebody for you? And oh, now everybody wants to buy me around.
I don't need your help murdering anyone for my benefit, unfortunately. However, I do believe that those two, the two drooling over each other right now.
No, they do make quite a smart pair there. That they get the bone structure in those two. It's kind of incredible.
It just proves their worth ends there. I do believe that they have an acquaintance who might find the end of your blade. If that's possible.
Well, everything is possible. You know, that's people think this existence is endless. I assure you it's not. If there's one thing I know for sure in my travels is there is no such thing as a true immortal. Anything and everything can end or be ended. Meanwhile, Beckwith children, as you sit on the ground, you see Oliver and Marguerite kind of heads together, whispering in each other's ear, and also see Cornelia talking to this strange man at the bar, all of them quite apparently ignoring you.
I'm just still staring daggers at like I'm watching Marguerite and Ollie whisper. I can't pick up anything, but I'm just...
Joey, what are we going to do?
What?
We're trapped on the train now, and she's being a real butthole.
Joseph, watch your language. We're better than that.
You're right. I'm sorry. That was
We'll
that
get
was rude.
her.
But I got the thingy. I got it. Aren't you proud of me, Joey?
We got it together. Joseph, you know it was a team effort. And now we have another team effort.
What's
You're
that?
going to let Marguerite keep going after what she did to you.
Oh no!
Look at him trying to take all the credit.
He knows it was a team effort.
He doesn't seem to think so. And it wasn't. He did get it.
Joseph,
Useless.
say it was a team effort.
He's not going to.
Well, I stole it, but you were there. You helped me hide it. Otherwise, she'd have got it when she hit me. So yeah, you helped it.
Oh,
Exactly.
he agreed out of pity for you.
Shut up.
So cute.
Shut up.
So what are we going to do with it now?
Yes, what are you going to do with such a useless thing to you?
We're going to use it to destroy her.
I don't think that's how it works.
I thought we were going to plant it on Ollie and have him destroyed. It was going to be a fun game. You don't look like you're playing anymore, Joey.
No, that's exactly it, Joseph. If we plant it on him and have him destroyed, that will destroy her.
Oh, but see, he just said that. Is that really your idea?
It is.
Doesn't look that way from here.
It is my idea.
He'll still get the credit for it. Don't you worry.
I've got the sticky fingers, Joey. You want me to drop it in his pocket?
Yes, Joseph Shadow.
Once again, you find yourself at odds with your sister. Do you really need her? We don't need her, I can promise you that.
No, she's
Not
my
if you-
sister. I have to take care of her. I have to make sure that she makes a place in this world for herself.
Why?
Because that's what Daddy told me to do. I was supposed to watch after my sister and make sure she made a good match for the family. That's what they always said.
Oh, I think a good match would be if she was no longer in your life.
No.
What's your
Can
family about?
Storyteller, can I use whispers to talk to Joseph's shadow, please?
That is a power that involves shadow-to-shadow communication, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have been doing this long enough. It's you've probably met before. So yes, absolutely, you could speak to Joseph Shadow.
Hey there. I admire your work. Really, really just top notch.
Thank you.
Do you hate that child as much as I do, as I hate mine?
Yes.
I really why don't we just work together and destroy them both? They really are so disgustingly codependent.
Very much so. I keep trying to tell him to get rid of you. It's just, what did you have in mind?
Well, there is another stop along the way that, if we go back to the scene of this crime, perhaps we can return them from their, from whence they died and, cause their demise together.
But what if they find what they're looking for? Joseph. I can't let him get off so easy.
Except I have a little secret about Josephine. You see, I don't know. You have to promise not to spoil the surprise until, it's the right time.
I would dream of it. I'm a showman, if nothing else.
So, they will never reach transcendence because...
And that is where we will cut away, smash cut here. From which she spills all of the tea, shadow to shadow. Me.
Cornelia at the bar is like, hold on, shh.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like I believe the bartender just starts pouring tea instead of whiskey at the bar for everyone to quickly get it spilled. Cornelia, back over here, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe I know where you're headed with this. No, what you're saying is, one of the kindred is how they refer to themselves. Based on your description, maybe clean Hakata, perhaps you're asking me to maybe see if she'll leave the members of your circle alone. Is what you're inquiring about?
Oh no.
Oh.
She has some influence in the Fleshlands.
Yeah.
I committed a great act a very long time ago. And unfortunately, it's gone unnoticed.
Well, that's a terrible thing. You see, I find so few things ever truly forgotten. You say that's if that happened, that would be a terrible burden bears. What that would be there.
I'd like her to make my actions known. And in return, I can give her the servant she so desires.
Yes, Shadow.
I'm going to use Trick of the Light for his response whenever we get to that.
Since technically she will never hear what he actually said, what do you intend for him to say?
Fuck you, Justice.
Yeah, that's about what he's going to say. She's going to hear him just say, "Fuck you, you worthless old bag. I don't do your bidding."
And, it was a busy night, you see, and so, only be one place at a time is how that is. So you very much hear, "Fuck you, I don't do your bidding," and then he's like, "Yeah, because I get around. I'm always on the move, but I can keep an eye out." And he's saying, maybe everything's negotiable, I suppose.
Are you going to let him speak to you that way? What even is he? What is this flesh bag in front of you? Obliterate him. He spoke down to you just like the villagers.
Sir,
Murder him.
No,
I think you should reconsider.
You could call me Slewer. You say I don't, only my father is Sir. But I really don't know what else to tell you, ma'am. Maybe if you give me a little more detail, I might be able to. Have you considered? And then you hear boom, 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 and the whole cabin shakes, and as it does. Master and Mistress Beckwith, you are jostled around in time to see out the window a familiar sight cresting through the waves.
There it is. We can see Mummy and Daddy. There it is. Joey, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Is this Cornelia or the shadow that is yes.
Having just been slighted, when the cabin shakes and we sort of get jostled, I'm going to lean into the Slua, grab his dagger, and stab him.
Dex and melee. He's like, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. You say. Just stand by, please, for shadow horrifics, because this, pending how this goes,
Yeah, and before he murders her, and I have to dissociate. Yeah, I don't know who that bitch is. I've never met one in my life.
As you reach towards his robe to grab the dagger, he just grabs you by the wrist and he looks at you and he goes, no, normally I charge extra for that, sweetheart. And he just winks at you with one of his eyes. And he's like, and just kind of knocks your hand away. And he's like, I believe
Pertinent man.
I'm just gonna chalk that up to you haven't lost your temper a little bit there. Don't being gentlemanly to strike a lady, you see. And he does just stand up, and he's
obliterate him.
Now, yes, shadow of Josephine.
Oh, I was just saying. Well, there it is. Do you want everybody to find out?
Storyteller.
Yes.
Is it within our rights as for Flair to basically say that as we get physically close to the Titanic, Joseph and I, like, our lips get bluer and like frost kind of begins to come across our faces, like on our eyelashes and our eyebrows, like this sort of
Hypothermia?
Frozen hypothermia look upon our visages as we get closer.
I mean, you've got an 80,000 ton fetter right out there. So yes, definitely.
And I want to say, like, as Joseph is excitedly like, it's like, there it is. Josephine's like, there it is. And like the icicle breath just kind of comes out of her as she heaves a deep sigh.
How do we get out there? Somebody stop the train. My mummy and daddy are out there. Come
Would
on,
you
Joey.
shut up?
I'm getting tired of your mouth, servant.
I've told you before, and I'll say it again. I never have, and I never will be, a servant to an impertinent child who cannot wait until a train stops to make his exit. However, if you would like to leave now, be my guest.
Yes, I want to be out there.
Joseph.
Oh. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Joseph, I
hate that woman.
Joseph.
I know. I don't think we can get out. I can't figure out how to get off the train.
Get out now.
Oh, what if you did find your mommy and daddy and you had to tell them?
Your parents are right there. Don't listen to this brat.
Mm.
I'm going to stand up and start banging on the windows of the train because I don't know anything else I can do.
As you start banging on the windows, you hear, hey, we have to have a seat there. Young man, this is not a scheduled stop tonight. Unless, of course, and the conductor sort of holds his hand out.
I have a golden ticket.
That got you on board the vessel there, young master. If you want a detour on the route, have to be duly compensated.
Joey, give me the thing. Give me the thing. It's got to be worth a lot of money. Give it here. Give it here. Give it here.
Always ordering you around.
He's in the way. Get rid of him.
I hand over the planchette.
And I give it to the conductor.
Marguerite, I realize you're in shadow mode right now.
Mm-hmm.
You very much see her produce the planchette and hold it out.
Here, take this. Stop the train. Stop the train.
You dirty little thieves, that's mine! And I'll run over and I'll shout, he stole that from me! He stole that from me! So that to cause a scene, and especially if there's any attendants, they're little thieves!
You you do see when you say that the conductor does kind of like come over like a little more with a little more haste, and he's like, is that young man? And he does grab you by the ear, Joseph, and stands you up like an unruly child. Been picking pockets on my train, have you?
No, I didn't.
He didn't.
I didn't.
I swear it.
He did. That's mine. That belongs to me, and you know it. There are witnesses. There are witnesses!
I start crying again.
Is the knife still visible?
The slewest knife? No, she only knew it because he showed it to her. Yeah, no, it's very much in his robes. Although the slewa is watching this with rapt fascination, even though he stood up kind of like, good day, madam. Then all the drama hit. And he's still kind of like, oh, okay. So he is standing right there. He's very tall. He's about like 7'1", but he's like, again, very wispy. He's like 7'1", 155. So he's very like, yeah.
Josephine,
yeah.
I want to lean into the big hubbub this is causing to distract us from stopping, and like hurl myself full body onto Marguerite to attack her.
Vampiric touch.
Well, first give me again, you're not a strong girl, so give me your dex and brawl. As he struggles to hand the planchette to the conductor is reaching for it, but Marguerite, you're reaching for it, and then she is going to like throw herself at you. So give me dex and brawl for you, Joey, and dex and athletics for you, Marguerite, unless you want to fight this kid. It's dex and athletics if you're just trying to stiff arm her.
Seeing this, can I assist Marguerite in grabbing that back?
Absolutely. Yes.
Also, I just had a question. This planchette is directly connected to the reason why I'm here, which I'm trying to find out, which is one of my passions.
Yes.
So how does that come into play if I am very like emotionally invested in keeping this with me?
This definitely counts as a fetter. This is one of the things that is keeping you bound here, which again, someone that knew could use to manipulate you with. That is true. Numerically, it doesn't affect it at all, beyond the fact that you really, really, really want this back, and these horrible children will not keep it away from you.
Okay, so that doesn't affect the rolls in any way.
Not directly. This is Wraith. Very few things are to your benefit.
Yes, I'm learning that.
Yeah. However, again, you can spend a willpower for 3 to re-roll up to 3 successes, and also I believe your shadow is capable of assisting you as well.
Okay.
Assisting is
Strong.
here.
Strong. Okay.
I'm gonna. No. You know what? I will. You feel when you sort of reach out to grab this from Joseph, right? From Joseph's holding it right now.
Yeah, Joseph's holding it.
Go ahead and give yourself an extra dot in dexterity.
Thank you. Also, I will say that Josephine's shadow will give her bad luck on this.
And Joseph's shadow is going to help him out in this instance, even though I feel like it's counter to what Ollie wants. Go ahead.
I do appreciate the maximum pettiness, Nora. Although it's all on brand, your shadow does not want you to be happy. So, yeah. So there's an extra dex for you there. So how many? Well, re-roll one of your successes there, Josephine.
Okay.
And how many was that?
So I have 2 successes without the extra die.
Oh no, roll the extra die.
Okay.
So one of
So
them.
now I have a critical with the 2.
So now it's so Josephine. How many did you get total?
Okay, so originally I had 2 criticals, so that was 4 successes, but I now had to re-roll into one of those, which is now a failure, so that's only 1 success.
So Josephine, you throw yourself on her and get a just solid fistful of her hair and feel that you're going to the floor with it. And as she's pulling on you, Marguerite, you just feel... You ever experienced water that was so hot it actually felt like nothing? Where just for a moment that you just like your senses are all gone? You feel a blinding rage come over you that actually just parts. And for a moment, you're just fine. As you just seamlessly wrap your hand around hers and just push her to the ground and snatch the planchette. Although I do believe Joseph's shadow was trying to do something to at least help him in that respect.
So I will let you tell me how this can work, because shadow play lets me give him an extra action when something like this is happening, so that he can. Will that apply for it so that he can either re-roll or attempt to grab it back before she gets away with it?
Let me just see here. Shadow play is 1 word in this, isn't it?
1 word, yes. It's on,
right.
If you have the PDF open.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
2, 3.
Yes. Basically, you would have an extra chance. So basically, you can do 2 actions in response to her snatching this away from you, Joseph.
You lose pathos and gain angst, though.
That is true. Yep. So it's although what does the shadow say to him as it comes to his aid?
No, you can't let this go, Joseph. Your chance is right there. Get it.
You said I lose the pathos?
You lose a pathos if you take it. If you lose a pathos and gain an angst.
Oh, I'm going to take it.
Hey.
So, I'm handing this planchette out, right?
Huh?
And she's coming in to snatch it.
Uh-huh.
I am going to attempt to plea to the conductor with tears streaming down my face that my mother left me this thing. It's the only thing I have left, and she keeps trying to steal it. And then also punch her in the knee simultaneously.
So first give me your ball face lie roll, your manipulation and subterfuge, and then a second dex and brawl. Since this is all kind of happening at once, I'll make it against your previous dex and athletics of 5. Marguerite, because again, you're superpowered at this exact second. What is Cornelia doing during all this like display?
So the minute that Marguerite starts wailing, Cornelia will turn to face the group. And as this chaos sort of ensues in front of her, she'll grow very calm and very still for a second before all around you all, this, like, the storm that was outside is basically inside now, and shit starts flying all over the place, and the wind is howling, all sort of centered on this pilgrim woman.
Perfect. What did you get there, young Master Beckwith?
Only 4 for the subterfuge and only 1 for the knee punch.
Marguerite, you snatch the planchette out of his hand and like move out of the way as he like sort of swings at you, and you see the conductor turns and looks at you and says, "Well, doesn't seem very ladylike to steal from a child."
I use all of my charm on him and say, "Good sir, I was the one that was stolen from. These rotten children stole from me. It's something that's very, very important to me. And there are witnesses. You can't let these children get away with it. Surely this is not something you would allow."
So you might recall one of your powers is intimation, which is messing with people's feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you going to do to this poor fellow?
I'm to the man I'm talking to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sweet talk my way into having him believe me. Because I am telling the truth, but I am doing this. I'm using all of my charm to persuade him, manipulate him.
I know the shadow is about to do something, Marguerite, because of course, Marguerite's shadow, because of course it is. But for the rest of you, as this swirling, howling maelstrom starts to kick up, throwing bottles and knocking over tables and sending the people in this train running in either direction, in a strange way, Marguerite somehow looks more beautiful. Like her hair begins to lift slightly off of her shoulders and the dress kind of flows ethereally as she's like, "Please, no." And you see the conductor's eyes just get wider as she continues talking to him. And then, yes, Shadow.
At the tail end of that, I'm gonna honey tongue this conversation and just follow all that up with, "And now none of that matters because you're here."
You know, Marguerite, you're selling him, and then just the needle. Is there something in particular you want to do, or are you just trying to inflict emotional trauma, Shadow?
You know what? I'll go ahead and spend an additional angst to use what was it? The Freudian slip again. And I'd like to make her sort of like reach out to him. Like as if she's going to go stroke his face. I don't know if I can actually make her do that, but sort of make her just reach out in his direction.
You can make her just kind of like caress him or something if you want to. Yeah, you can do that.
Be sexy to him.
You like go do a sexy. Yeah, no. You see,
Hashtag do a sexy.
Hashtag do a sexy. Yeah, no. You see this man, his full senpai notice me. Like again, the train cart is objectively being destroyed right now as people are screaming and fleeing. There is nothing else in his universe than you, Marguerite, as you reach out and touch his face. Oliver, more importantly, Oliver's shadow. Does Oliver's shadow have anything to contribute as you're witnessing Marguerite sweet talk this hapless sucker?
Well, Joseph's shadow does, though, too.
What's that Oh, that's right. She'll just be sweet for anyone she needs something from. You've seen types like her before. You tend to let them get what they need from you. You get what you need from them. And then you're out the door.
She's different.
Yeah, she's different because she's dead.
Oliver this is a very public exchange that's happening. I mean, he only has a second, but as he sees this going on, what is the current status of the planchette? Just that I know.
Marguerite did get it. Yeah, I mean, she between when Josephine tried to tackle her, she sort of shrugged her off and snatched it, and it looked for a moment like the conductor was going to buy it. When Joseph was like, "No, it's really mine," and he's like, "Excuse me, miss," and she, lit him up, and
Sorry,
now he's about to
step in as the shadow for a moment. Then.
Yes, please do. Yes.
Joseph, this is your one chance. Don't let it slip. Take my hand. We can change his mind right now. I don't care how charming she is. If you give in, I promise we have this one chance.
Okay, what do we do? What can we do? Make him kill her.
Trust me. Tell him you want it. Tell him she stole it from you. And tell him it is your ticket to your redemption. And I'm going to attempt to use Pact of Doom.
That sounds metal.
It allows me to, from what I can tell, temporarily give him any Arcanos. Up to any level that I want, but I get permanent angst for every dot that he takes for this one action. So if he wanted to, for instance, intimation this, he could 5th level intimation it. I just get 5 permanent angst. So
that's so good.
That is good. Oh, you give into it and it gets worse. Oh. Okay. Hang on. Let me read Pact of Doom here.
Yeah.
A great name for something too.
Yep.
Okay, man. Wow.
So I'll admit I have Pact of Doom as well, but the only things I read were the things that could make her blow shit up. So I don't know a lot of powers. What should I take?
So let me say this, because it does say the terms of the pact must be agreed upon by Psyche and Shadow. The arrangement is entirely consensual. So what I will say you are aware of, Joseph, is yes, he can grant you this power temporarily, but you will make him stronger permanently. That is something that Joseph is aware of. He may not care, but it's not like later, like, you tricked me. No, he didn't. Yeah.
No, Joseph is full into this. He is his 12-year-old brain that is 112 years old, but he never actually aged somehow because he's a man-child thing. Outside is his parents. For all intents and that is his. Mummy and Daddy are right there, and she's in the way. And that planchette is mine. That's the ticket to stop the thing. I need to do it now. So whatever will get that done. I don't care if I have to obliterate everybody between me and that wall.
So rip a tear in space here. What is the outcome that you are attempting here? Like what is your goal? And I will try and figure out which one of these powers will get you there.
So as the Shadow, I want to have him kind of overpower this guy's sense, like this sense that he's like, oh, maybe it wasn't his. I want him to completely believe that it was his planchette, and I want to use intimation to be able to kind of push him towards that, because this is the only chance that I'm trying to make Oliver think he has to do this. And this conductor could have other powers. Like, I don't even know if he's obliteratable.
And what does Joseph want as the outcome of all of this?
Joseph isn't thinking very straight right now. He knows that he needs to stop the train. So that is his end goal right now.
Right. Yeah, because it is
the conductor can do that.
Yeah, and it is being decimated right now by this swirling storm that is like shattering windows and throwing things around. And even though the outside tempest is not coming in, you can hear it now when the windows are shattered. Like it's definitely clear that like something is being is keeping the storm at bay. Besides this, let me just ask you this: if your goal is to have him stop the train, are you attempting to do this via persuasion, or are you doing this like via violence? Like, are you telling him to stop the train? Are you want him to get thrown out the window? Like, what is it going to be?
Me or him?
Joseph. Because it is becoming difficult to see and move because of this swirling storm, which is making it even stranger because as Marguerite is just touching him, it's like bits and flecks of glass are like cutting her and nicking her, but somehow it still is incredible as you're watching this this exchange between the two of them. And you see around you all, the whole train car is getting like destroyed in both directions as people are getting like smashed against the walls and things like that. As there's just sort of this calm center right here around you all that you realize is collapsing in on you. But yes, as Cornelia stands here very calmly, full fire starter all around you. So yes, Joseph, I read there's a number of different abilities that will get you there. Just tell me what your outcome is, and I'll tell you what the best way to play it is. I mean, there are many ways to make this train stop, I guess is what I'm getting at.
Cornelia is actively, yeah, Cornelia is actively blowing the train apart. Is that also true?
I mean, all hell is breaking loose in the car. The train is still rolling. It has not stopped. And because of what Marguerite is doing, the conductor seems to have not noticed or not care what is going on.
Okay. So I have to separate from Justice from Joseph and figure out what a 12-year-old boy would do instead. Can we cut scene to someone else for just a moment, and I will think, or is this hinging on it? Sorry.
No, it is not 100% hinging on. There's I apologize because there's like a side panel that gives a quick description of all of the Arcanoi, which I screen grabbed it for you guys previously, and of course now that I need it quickly, I cannot find it. Oh, wait, nope, getting closer. Hang on, I'm almost there. That's passions, curses. It is. Oh, curses.
Oh, okay, I've got it. If there's a thing I want, mm-hmm. I'm looking at Marguerite seducing this conductor, and I'm going to have.
It's PDF 112, by the way. PDF 112 that gives you just like the super like one sentence blurb about what the power is, basically.
I'm gonna take whatever it costs to make suddenly that conductor's one goal is to destroy the beauty that he sees in front of him. It is too much. It is too beautiful. He is overcome with it, and suddenly he just wants to destroy it. And in that moment, I would like to, if that goes through, I would like to snatch the planchette, grab Joey's hand, and attempt to muscle with my tiny little 12-year-old muscles out the window or door or hole in the wall, whatever it is, to just leap into space.
Well, let me throw you a curveball, because I will say, even though you are impulsive, one, this storm is raging around you in here that would be difficult to escape. Two, okay. Diving headfirst into the tempest is almost certainly suicide. Okay. However, what you can do is you can access the ability of Argos, which is the Arcanos of travel, and teleport over to the Titanic.
Oh, I can just skip the whole thing and just like, blap.
Yep. It depends on how many is it, who, if any, you want to bring along with you. Also, I would just like to say I've been listening to Sith meditation music during all of this, and it synchronizes perfectly.
I would say YOLO, but that's not true because we're on our second life here.
Literally not true. Yes.
Yeah, if I perhaps didn't know that existed before and the shadow just presents that as an option, then for real, gonna grab Joey and just flip.
Let me see how many dots that would take.
But I still have the planchette in my hand, right?
You do still have the planchette, yep.
All right, then.
Not for long, you don't.
Here, go pull it out.
Hold on. I'm just making sure I'm reading through here which of these abilities would allow you to do this.
How much of my soul do I have to surrender?
More than you think. Okay. Because there's a few things. I apologize because this is important. It would be it would be 5 points. Master Beckwith, it would be 5 points.
My salvation is over there. Like that is it. That is all for me. So 5 points doesn't matter. I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. Make it happen.
Shadow, you are aware you can do this for him. Yep.
So I can teleport.
Specifically, you can grant him temporary access to the ability of Argos, which can let him teleport him and his sister over to the ship. Be 5 points, but it'll work. Specifically, at the risk of too much jargon, he's going to open what's called a nihil. He's going to open a tiny little wormhole and be like, is what'll happen.
Dave, that's what the shadow wants to do. the shadow
is fighting every urge in
I don't want to do this
right now.
so bad.
I know you don't, but the shadow does. I'm like, do it, Mason. Do it, Mason.
Well, Master Joseph, do we have a deal?
Yes, whatever it takes. Give me the power.
I like to imagine that even though I can't talk to Josephine's shadow, that I give her a little wink. And I'm fucking giving it exactly what he wants. He's got all the powers he needs.
So I lose 5
Joseph-
willpower, is that correct?
No, he gains 5 angst.
Okay.
Yeah. Permanently.
Yep, there you go.
Joseph, as you feel the shadow basically says deal. Before this all resolves, I believe Marguerite's shadow was trying to do something awful.
Yes, but the cue is going to be Joseph disappearing, so I can wait a second.
Perfect. It's like everything slows down, Joseph. You see Cornelia standing there, just completely straight-faced, as desolation has erupted in all directions in this train car. And it's even starting to swirl behind her. And you see the Slua that you really hadn't paid much attention to before now, very much like eyeing her warily, and has put his hand on his knife, but hasn't drawn it yet. But it's very much like, I will execute this bitch before she destroys this train with me on it, basically, is the way he's looking at her. And everything is moving in slow motion. And you see, as you look out the window, Joseph, there's a tunnel. How had you not noticed it before? It goes right out that window, across the waves, right over to the Titanic. And you grab your sister's hand and reach out and touch it, and the two of them are gone.
I will stick my tongue out at Cordelia as I go.
Yes, Marguerite Shadow.
So as soon as Joseph and his sister sort of blink out of our field of vision, I'm going to go ahead and I will Freudian slip again for Marguerite to drop the planchette and follow that up with a trick of the light that makes it look like the planchette went in the tunnel after Joey.
You fucking monster.
Marguerite. It whips out the window right after him.
This is all my fault.
Sorry guys, the storm around Cordelia is starting to like settle down now that the children aren't here. It's like it was somehow related to her blood pressure. Like the wind is dying down.
I'm going to take my anger out on the conductor.
Because he very much is looking at you. He's like, I've worked this train for 143 years waiting for you, and now I understand that. And yes, Marguerite.
You ruined everything. I'll slap him across the face.
No. And he, right when you slap him, it's sort of, he looks around, and again, there's people hurt. Everything's destroyed. Like there is just like a round, like 10-foot diameter circle around you all, where you all are standing here with the Slua and him, and everything else is destroyed. And he goes, what happened?
Look what you did,
His fault, Marguerite.
Look what you did.
He lost it. He lost the one piece that could put together the entire puzzle for you.
All his fault.
What can I do to make this up to you? I'll do anything. And he like falls to his knees and kind of like grabs like 2 handfuls of like the hem of your dress, and he's like, please, anything.
Well,
Show him what it meant to you. This will be your only chance.
if you really love me, you will find that planchette that was taken from me. And he saw it, right? He saw it in my hand.
Mm-hmm. He saw it. Mm-hmm.
So is he able to see this anywhere?
He was staring at your beautiful face. I don't want to hear it.
He's not anymore. He's on the ground holding my dress.
Can Ollie see the planchette?
I was about to say, I feel like Oliver Shadow is going to have something to say about all of this first.
You see how easily she just gives herself away to the first person who will do something for her. You thought you could find solace with her here. But guess what? You're as alone as ever. You may as well jump off this train and follow those two children into oblivion.
She's getting what she needs. She hasn't used that on me.
That's exactly what someone who's had that used on them would say. You're so stupid. Everyone's called you smart. Everyone's called you accomplished. And it's all lies. Only now is all of this starting to become clear to you, isn't it?
Do you have anything to offer other than words?
Oh, you want to play?
Looks at PDF.
I know you're like scrolls through terrible options.
Yeah.
While the shadow is pondering what it's going to do, you hear him say, "We'll catch them. I'll interrogate them myself. We'll stop the ship at the Titanic." And when he says that, you guys feel the train lurch to the side in like broken glass, like slides across to the far side of the cabin. When people like fall over and slam, as the train very clearly is like, and you all can see the Titanic where it was way off here in the distance, kind of like move until you lose sight of it because it is directly in front of the train, basically, as you feel it like power turn into it.
Does Ollie see that it's been dropped? Like,
Give me your wits and awareness, Oliver.
Okay. Oh no. 3.
It's gone.
It's gone. Oh well.
How long does that effect last on me?
Just right then.
Oh.
Like, I mean, you just, like, but you believe you saw it. You believe you saw it go out the window.
So if I
believe Marguerite's shadow was going to say something.
You stupid, insignificant girl. Look what you've done. You've destroyed this whole train. You've caused an upset. None of these people will end up where they belong.
I don't even care about other people at this point.
That's
I
not
don't
true.
care
And
where
you
they
know
belong.
it. That's all you've ever done, Marguerite.
I'm going to find that planchette. Then I'm going to murder those children.
Now that's a sentiment we can agree on. How would you do it? Picture it now. Using your bare hands. You want to feel the life leave them. That's admirable.
I do.
I'm glad you're living up to your potential. This is a new turn in you, and I quite like it.
Oliver's shadow was going to say something.
You want to know if I've got anything besides just words? You have only begun to see the surface of what I can do for you. All it takes is for you to slip away from consciousness. Just take a nice rest. You've earned it. It's been a long day. I bet you've lost all track of time, haven't you? And just give in, get some rest, and let me take it from here.
What are you going to do?
I have the power to make all your dreams come true.
Is that tunnel still open right now?
Oh no, it just was.
Okay.
You saw them go out it. You saw it, basically they just stepped towards it and vanished in the direction of the ship.
Gosh. Give me just a minute to think. There's always another option. I just have to find it. What is Marguerite doing at this point?
I have just sunken to the ground. I'm just sitting on the ground in defeat right now.
Shadow Guide Storyteller Dave. As one last just check, would Flux give me any ability to find said magic item? This interesting little thing.
Let's see. Perfect. Again, I apologize, dear viewers. Wraith is a whole other animal where most of these games just off the dome, I'm like, that does this. With Wraith, I have to check pretty much everything. How many points do you have in flux?
I think 2. I have 2.
I do not believe any of the points in flux, at least initially, would be enough there to help you find it.
I just didn't know if it would give me any extra awareness for that sort of thing, since it's mainly relic based.
At some higher levels, yes, but not where you are.
Gotcha. I just got here.
That is true. It's been a day. Cornelia, watching Marguerite sort of like slump to the floor. And quite frankly, I'm interested in hearing what Marguerite's shadow has to say, especially because once again, you did all this damage and no one seems to care, Cornelia. Sorry, it was Cornelia's beast that I was interested, that Cornelia had done all this damage. Again, no one cares.
You're going to have to do better than that. They didn't even pay attention. Oh, this is classic.
They were quite distracted. There was a scuffle going on.
A scuffle. You brought all holy destruction on this train and they were distracted by a scuffle? You are so insignificant. Oh, and after that lizard man talked to you so, and you didn't even attempt to stand up for yourself. You are such a pathetic specimen. Oh, God, this is so easy. You make things just so easy. What was your name again?
One day, I will find a way to sever myself from your wretched taunting.
You can't fight your way out of a train. I've done exactly what you've done, and nobody knows. Isn't it wonderful?
They'll know.
You keep
I'll
dreaming.
deliver Marguerite to Carly, and Carly has ties in the Skinlands. It'll be fine.
Is that what you want? You know I can give you those powers. If that's all you wanted, you should have said so ages ago. You want to walk your way among the skinwalkers, take a ride, see what's out there. Let's make a deal, you and I.
You have nothing to offer me.
No? You want to follow those wretched children? I can send you there.
Why on earth would I want to follow those children?
Everyone on this train, I can give you that power. We can rip a hole in the very shroud itself, my dear. Kill them. Destroy them all. They'll know. Tales of your deeds will go on for ages.
Could I do damage in the Skinlands?
Oh, absolutely.
As I did when I walked the earth.
Oh, yes. We just have to get back there, of course, but yeah. I'm a very reasonable entity when we just have these nice talks. There's a certain power that allows you to do all sorts of damage in the Skinlands.
You've never mentioned this before.
Why would I?
Because this is what we've wanted. This is what we've dreamed of, what we've tried to show them forever.
It's what you've wanted. And finally, you're willing to ask for my help. I have you where I want you.
I've made it this far without your assistance. I assure you I can make it.
And how far has it gone, my dear?
They'll
it's 100
know.
years and you've made zero progress. You're a joke. Did you hear how he spoke to you?
You don't just wipe out an entire colony and have no one find out about it.
Apparently you do.
They'll know. It may take time.
The longer it goes on, the more history is created, the less that insignificant colony matters. It will be a... what do they call it? A History Channel original at 3 a.m. I pay attention. I hear the tour guides talk. You're pathetic. You know what? I take it back. I don't want to offer you the opportunity. You're on your own.
Wait.
I'm always here.
What do you want in return?
Nothing. A trifle, really. We just have to agree on a bargain, and that's all. I don't need anything from you. I am you, dear.
I've been on this earth long enough to know that no one offers assistance without asking or taking something in return.
You say yes, and that's all we need. But we're a long way from the Skinlands now, my dear. Get us back there, and I will give you infinite power, and you can strip the very flesh from mortals' bodies.
You realize as he's talking to you, Cornelia, that again, that dull reflection of the mortal world, literally through a glass darkly, that you're so accustomed to in the Shadowlands, is gone. Here in the Tempest, you are far removed from the Skinlands and getting farther away by the moment.
Does
You're
that
going the
feel
wrong
different
way.
to us?
You are aware of the fact that there is the Skinlands, the Shadowlands, which is right next to that, the Tempest, which is the Great Barrier, and then Stygia. Like, this is how it is. But Stygia is literally further away from the land of the living than the Shadowlands are.
Okay. But being like further removed from my fetters doesn't...
No, not innately.
Okay.
I mean, there's a reason why you live there and you don't live in Stygia, but I mean, all things being equal, like it's not harming you, for instance, being here.
Okay.
Yeah. Ollie, seeing Marguerite just sitting on the floor in defeat like this, what does Oliver do?
The train is stopped, right?
Oh no, the train is speeding towards the Titanic.
Well, that's what I meant. It's making a stop at the Titanic. I guess that's what I was.
I mean, as far as you know, like basically this like man that is holding on the hem of her skirt, pleading, like made it just like bust a hard right, essentially, in the direction of the Titanic.
Can I see? And I can see that we're turning away from, even though I don't know necessarily by its name or anything. I can see that we're avoiding the place I want to go.
You have definitely altered course. I would say you could logically deduce if you were heading towards where you wanted to go, you clearly are not any.
Marguerite, we can still do this. I know you think we need that thing, but we can figure this out.
You need that thing more than you need Ollie.
How? That was my one way out of here.
I mean, I have
And now they have it.
I have a pretty great memory. We can still find it. We can find out more. We can find out where you came from. We can do this.
Like so many selfish men before, he wants to get his and leave you with nothing.
We have to go back and get it. We're stopping there anyway.
What if we don't need it and we end up dead, gone, aboard a derelict ship?
He's gaslighting you now.
This is really important to me. You know that it's important to me. And if it wasn't important, it wouldn't be burning in my pocket or ringing and everybody else heard it. You can't tell me just because it's inconvenient to you that it's no longer important.
Why is what's important to her more important than what's important to you?
You can shut up. I'm going to kneel down and attempt to kind of take one of her hands.
Vampiric touch.
And also that happens. Has it once per session? I don't know if you've used it on her yet, or on me yet. Just so you know.
Have I used it? I think I did. Never mind. I think I used it on her already this session.
Okay. Marguerite.
I just I'm sorry. I just appreciate what you guys are like. You're having such a tender moment. It'd be a real shame if something were to happen to me.
I go into each scene expecting that exact thing is going to be the case.
You showed me this. You made me this monster, Mason.
I learned from watching you.
Look, I don't understand how this afterlife thing works, Marguerite. I know that you've been kind to me when no one else has.
You're wasting all your time.
I hope you can find at some point the trust in me, but if this is something you really think you have to do,
he's going to abandon you.
then I will help you in this.
You need a break. Take a break.
How does it make you feel? Him giving up eternity for some stupid toy you were handed on a dock. Are you going to let him waste his afterlife that way? For you?
It's his choice, and it's not a stupid toy. It's directly affecting me. It is directly tied to my past.
I can
You
tell
can't
you all
tell me
about
that
your
it's not
past.
important. Well, why don't you fucking tell me one thing every once in a while? No, all you do is ridicule me.
Yes. You deserve this. You deserve to spend every day from now until oblivion.
For what? What did I do? Tell me. Tell me what was so bad in my life that I'm stuck here. I did nothing wrong. I did everything. Every little single stupid societal rule. I did it. I followed them. I did everything. I lived my entire life for other people.
And you're
So
here.
I don't feel bad. I don't care what anybody else decides to do. I need to find this thing because for once in my life, I will do something for me.
Seeing her drift, like I can tell that something's happening. Hey, look, I know that this is tough. I mean, I just got here. I'm dead. But, it's not all bad. I met you.
Oh.
And, also a creepy pilgrim lady and a couple lovely children. But you've been a better friend to me in death than, gosh, almost anyone has in life.
We've been over this. You have no friends.
Well, now this is just sad. I can't even tease you about this one.
Look, I've only been here a short time, and I know you've been here a very long time, and you're looking for something. And if I can help you find that, I mean, I've got a lot of time, I guess, to figure out this other stuff of mine.
You have no time.
I really need to find this, and of everybody here, I'm so glad that you're here. But trust me when I say that this is extremely important to me, and I will do anything I can to help you. But
when you say that, Marguerite, the Slua, who still has been by the bar watching this whole thing unfold the entire time, just says, "Oh yeah, this is a sweet moment between you two. It's so rare to have any tenderness, but just a heads up. Those two kids, they hopped over to the Titanic, right?
Yes.
Well, you all might be in for some trouble because it seems Titanic is under attack, and that's a good place for us to stop.
I didn't get my one-liner insult in.
Sorry, please.
Oh, no, please.
Just stinger on the way out there, Shadow.
I'll send it to you later, Nora. It's fine.
No, now, now.
Don't send it to me after the game where it becomes personal.
You're just being mean then, you know. No, please. You hit her with the fadeaway hook there, Shadow. Yes, please.
Selfish, wasteful trash. In life and in death.
Can't top that. So,
Selfish, wasteful trash going on a shirt.
I come up with the best pet names, you guys.
I already have that shirt.
I need it on a pillow. So yeah, you normally wonderful people, tell the audience where they can find you when you're normally not being like this. We'll start with you, Nora.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim, and I'm usually a very nice person. You can find me at Noralogical on Instagram and Twitter, and just follow that for all the updates because I'm usually streaming on one network or another most days of the week. I can't even think straight right now. It's the blind rage. The blind rage.
Just give into it. That's it. Just let it help you. Just let it help you. I appreciate we got to week 3 when the shadows are like, you can just do it my way, and you guys are all like, yeah.
We could kill all humans.
Kill all humans. Hey, baby. Want to kill all humans? Yeah.
Yes.
Emily.
Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. And you can find me on all the things at Emily the Spoon.
I got it. You don't want to know how many screenshots I took of you just creepily staring right at the camera.
I did a lot of creepily staring at the camera today. So
landed. Just want you to know. It landed.
I'm so glad. I think I reversed my LASIK by staring toward my ring light, but it was worth it.
It's full uncanny valley. I'm like, wait, she keeps looking at me. Like, where yeah, her eyes are following me.
Follow you.
Yeah. Mason.
Yeah, hey everybody, my name's Mason Dula. You can find me when I'm not being I'm still pretty terrible as a DM over on Wizard X TV here on Twitch. But yeah, also here, and you can find me on Bard and Barbarian on occasion. It's just good old times with these beautiful people.
It's super happy fun times. Super happy fun times. Justice.
Hi, everybody. I am one half of the team at Bard and Barbarian. We got a Twitch channel. We do some stuff over there. And you can find me on the socials at StashmanDo. I had something else that I was going to say that. Oh, I remember. Wow. My brain is I'm in the same thing. I'm just kind of floating. I was going to say, and it would have been better with good delivery. I would have said, hi, we're teaching you how to be terrible. Welcome to our TED Talk. But then I messed it all up. But,
now, you know what? We'll pretend here. Just wind it back.
Sure, hang on a second. Yeah, you know what? I needed 3 takes to start. So you're allowed. Yeah, you're allowed another take to finish.
Hi, welcome to our TED Talk. We're being terrible.
Perfect. I appreciate that. Yes. And last, and certainly not least, the most, I feel, how they say, you've got to be really smart to play a stupid person? Maybe you've got to be really sweet to pay somebody, so unrepentantly awful. So, hey, Diana.
No, that's just the evil creeping out. Hey guys, I am Diana D'Amico. I am the Dice affiliate manager over at Die Hard Dice. You can find me all over the place. D'Amico Diana over on Twitter is where I'm going to be posting all the shows. But right now I'm playing somewhere 6 days a week. So one day I'll catch up to B-Dave and have just as many time commitments as he does.
Just don't be like me. That's a cautionary tale. What you're supposed to take
You
from
mean
don't be
beautiful,
like me.
talented, and wonderful? Of course I'm going to be like you.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
fucking handsome.
P.S. Don't kill a character. I've been your bitchy pilgrim this evening.
It just this fucking stream, man. Wraith, man. Just
This is the only show that does this to me. By the end, where I'm like, "What's my name? What am I doing?"
Because you got to go to a different place with this one. Got to go to a different place with
Who
this one.
wants to go play the My Little Pony RPG after this?
Just, I would love to have the worst thing you have to do is deal with Discord. Sowing seeds of Discord as he does. B. Dave Walters, say words about things. We did a one shot for World Builders earlier, which the VOD is up. The YouTube link is coming. You should watch it. It was kind of incredible. If they hit the funding goal, we'll do a part 2. You should check that out. Again, I'm somewhere doing something 7 days a week. Usually not like this. And have no idea how we're going to wrap this up next week. And I think the answer is going to be poorly, because I think. But also, the running gag being, Emily didn't get to take her shirt off in this one. And when she just untied that knot right there, in my mind, I legit was like, Emily, we're still alive. Emily's still alive. that is not what I'm like, don't get QueueTimes banned. Sharp spike in subs. There you go.
And cancel.
Okay, I didn't show my feet. We're all good.
Yeah, that is strictly behind the paywall. So thank you all, and wow, and we will see you all next week.
Thank you, B-Dave. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everybody.
Goodbye.